So here's a prayer principle from the New Testament, from the teachings of Jesus. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 44. And the principle is this: pray for your enemies, or in other words, those who dislike or mistreat you. And the verse goes, "But I," and this is Jesus speaking, "say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." And so from this verse, we see 3 points. First, attitude is important in prayer. So Jesus said to love, to bless, to do good. So we need to have an attitude of loving, blessing, and doing good to our enemies when we're praying. And we should pray for our enemies with that loving kind of attitude. So our attitude is important in praying for those who dislike us. And then our action is important as well. So second of all, action is important in prayer. First, don't simply say, "I love you," or don't simply say, "I bless you." Do something to show your love and your blessing. Because in the verse it says, "Do good to them that hate you." And so the point is, we need to have an attitude of loving, blessing, and doing good to those who mistreat us, but we also need to demonstrate actions of love, blessing, and goodness to them. So we need to pray with an attitude of love, asking for opportunities to show our enemies love. So it's one thing to pray for someone, but if we don't really want to love or to bless or to do good, when we have the opportunity, our prayer is going to be weak and not really genuinely authentic. So then the third point is, so our attitude is important, our action is important, and then the third point is our anticipation is important in prayer for our enemies. Matthew 5:12, previously in the chapter, says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." And so Jesus is telling the disciples to rejoice when they're persecuted. And we should not be surprised when we suffer persecution or a little bit of mockery or scorn for Christ or for doing what's right, because God's prophets have always been persecuted for millennia. So we should not expect to avoid persecution. Rather, we should anticipate persecution. So anticipating persecution or ridicule will help us to prepare our attitude, which we talked about, so that we can withstand the mockery and so we can follow Jesus' example. And he gave us an example on the cross. In Luke chapter 23, verse 34, it says, and this is when Jesus is suffering humiliation on the cross, mockery, scorn. Then said Jesus, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And so in praying for those who hate Christianity, who mock our beliefs or mistreat us personally, we must remember to guard our attitude with love, guide our actions in love, and anticipate the rejection with a ready spirit to love and forgive. Then we can expect God to show us his power through our prayer for our enemies.